Nasa kabilang linya na po si Kong Raymond Mendoza. Kong, welcome to the program. Magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga, may buntag. Raymond Ramsey. Good morning.
Good morning. So, Kong, ito, syempre, magandang balita po ito para sa ating mga manggagawa. Itong 200 peso wage increase na ito na walang umopose. Mayroon lang isang nag-abstain pero positive po. Lahat po umoo dito. Kamusta naman po? Ano po ang mga susunod na mangyayari na ho dito, Kong?
When I read out in the plenary session, being the Deputy Speaker, 171, pero na-corrected na yan. Walang nag-oppose. 172 ang total na votes. So masaya naman na maligaya naman yung manggagawang Pilipino ngayon. We've waited for 36 years ito, Raymond Ramsey. So nagwagi naman tayo kahapon. But then again, we still have to hurdle the BICAM report. Kasi nakita mo, yung sa Senado, you have 100 pesos. Pero tayo, yung pinasa natin kahapon, was 200 pesos.
Opo.
So, i-reconcile lang yan through the BICAM report. That's why last night, I stayed up late para ma-read out lang yung members ng BICAM report. The members of the bicameral conference. May I read out the names lang po na kasama Ramsey, kung sino. So, we voted and elected. The following, you have the chairman of the Committee on Labor and Employment, Fidel Nograles of Rizal, and also Mark Go. Sometimes sa management yan, pero ang galing yan, si Mark Go of Baguio. Congressman author Jolo Revilla of 1st District of Cavite, and myself, TUCP party studies with the majority. Now, for the minority, we have Gabriela Partiles and also an author, Arlene Rosas, kasamang Ramsey.
Okay. With that, sir, marami ang nagtatanong kasi nga po, eto patapos na naman yung session at may panibagong Congress na naman. May habol ba ito? Kung ano mangyayari nito?
That's why it's so important na habol natin last night na pass on the third and final reading. Meaning, tapos na siya. Tapos na siya sa Kongreso. Saka last year pa yan sa Senado. 100, 200. So, kailangan lang na on Monday, mag-usap lang tayo. May champions naman tayo doon sa Senado. Hopefully, they can also deliver. I know they're very busy, di ba, kasama?
Yes. Opo.
Na busy sila doon. But this is very and equally important. This is actually wages. This will uplift 5 million minimum wage earners in the country. So we're calling on yung offer doon sa Senado. Nandoon si Senator Ramon Revilla. Sir, daghang salamat. And you also have Senate President at that time, Mig Zubiri. And plus, you steered, by political will, steered this to victory in the Senate. And finally, nandiyan yung dating Akbayan and now Senator Risa Ontiveros. So we are coordinating with them on Monday. So, diretso na lang ha. So what will happen in the BICAM? You can adopt the Senate version of 100 or you can meet halfway, 100 to 150. Of course, kami naman sa manggagawa representing them, the higher the figure amount, the better, di ba?
Opo.
And of course, the Senate now will adopt the House version na 200 para tapos na. But I can promise you to manage the expectation, hindi pa ito tapos. Kailangan lang na mag-adapt to a certain number. I do not want to preempt my fellow colleagues. But once that number is reached, kailangan naman ibalik sa Senado. On their part, i-ratify nila. And on our parts of Congress, it has to be ratified. Once it's done, we're in clear. Klaro na ito pasado na. That I can promise. But then again, kailangan naman natin na yung boss natin sa itaas, kailangan tinmahan niya.
Okay.
Walang iba si Presidente.
Yun nga po rin ang tanong ng taong bayan eh. Sana nga raw po hindi ma-veto, sana hindi ma-ano pa. Now, with regards to that, sir, may mga katanungan ho ang ating mga tagapakinig, especially with the number 200 peso. Kung titingnan ho natin ito, malaking bagay po ito para sa ating mga manggagawa. Pero pagdating sa mga employer, how will it come to a win-win situation between the employers and employees pagdating dito sa batas na ito?
Una sa lahat kasama Nancy, we also must remember in 1989, TUCP din, through my father, the late Attorney Kito Mendoza.
Opo.
And of course, we had a Senator Ernesto Herrera. At the panahon ni Cory Aquino and Mitra, they passed it. 89 pesos. Yung increase was 25 pesos. So it went up to 89, that represents 40% increase. At that time pa, na ang ekonomiya and politically, di ba, ang daming kuditas, ang daming problema si Madam Aquino. And the fundamentals were bad. Sabi nila, to put it in a record, kasi ang dami sinabi sa business community. But this is actual situation. Walang inflation, walang closure, at the same time, nag-progress pa ang Pilipinas. So, in that aspect lang, we can say panalo ang manggagawa. Then again, may I also add na 36 years na ang last increase. This has been 36 years of failed experiment. Actually, kasalanan din namin because we helped pass that wage boards which right now we in Congress had to come in kasi pabarya-barya eh. You have 20 pesos, 15 pesos, sometimes very insulting na 5 pesos. It has not reached the level of, let us say, what the Philippine Statistics Authority is saying na above poverty threshold level. It's only in NCR na 645 na above poverty level kasama Ramsey. The rest of the country, survival wages, ang baba. So, shall we continue this? That is why ang daming OFWs natin, maraming gutom, maraming problema. Di ba? So, kailangan na as we progress, sabi ng BBM, in the first meeting namin, kandidato siya, as we rapidly industrialize now, no one should be left behind. Mr. President, ang dami na naiwan, especially the workers of this country. Kasama Ramsey.
Okay. Now, with that, nakikita natin mas malapit na yung magiging minimum wage natin sa living wage. Halos konti na lang. Konti na lang.
That's always been the dream of TUCP. Ang tagal na yan, constitutional mandate. And how are we going to reach it kung hindi natin iangat ang or to increase the wages? Di ba? 200 is 200. Ang daming debate dyan kung enough ba ang 200. Pero that is a step to the right direction. Sabi ng Ibon Foundation and Ateneo, it needs around 1,200. So we will get there. Pero dahan-dahan lang. And then I call on the social partners naman na after 36 years, kailangan naman panalo din ang magagawa, di ba? Kasama Ramsey.
Okay. And lastly, Kong, syempre, marami nakikinig sa atin mga manggagawa, marami nakikinig sa atin ng mga empleyado na talaga namang ito ang inaasahan. Ano po ang mensahe niyo po sa kanila?
Ang mensahe ko na lang sa all the minimum wage earners in this country, 5 million. Kung i-text nyo yung congressman nyo, yung senator nyo, parang talagang we will create that motion na kailangan. And also, to remind our presidents, once ma-pass, ito ma-ratified, mapunta kay ni Presidente, huwag naman ma-veto. Na ang kailangan lang gawin niya is to sign it. And that's it. We will see at least 200 peso wage increase for our minimum wage earners in this country.
And if I'm not mistaken, and ito laging pino-point out na makakasama natin from Ibon and other groups, na kapag ito'y natuloy, maganda rin ito sa ekonomiya, hindi ho ba?
Yes, maganda. Actually, if you give 200 pesos, no, all the wage in this country regionalized kasi. Lahat will be above poverty threshold. But kung 100 lang, kalahati. Of course, kami sa TUCP will always back to the 200 peso wage increase. But then again, I give it to the BICAM. And also, it's also good for the economy. Kasama Ramsey.
Sige po. So Kong, maraming salamat po sa oras na inilaan niyo po sa amin. Thank you. And we are hoping for good news by next week. At aantayin namin ang inyong
Pass lang kasama Ramsey, help us kulitin natin yung presidente para hindi naman ma-veto. Papasa naman. Happy ang manggagawa.
Sige po.
Maraming salamat.
Nandito lang po kami, sir, just in case. At syempre, nakaantabay din po sa magandang balitang ito. Mabuhay po kayo, Kong. Mabuhay ang TUCP.
Mabuhay.
Ayan po si Deputy Speaker and Representative Raymond Mendoza ng Trade Union Congress of the Philippines. Tayo po'y maghahanap buhay. Oras natin makakasama 10:16.
Usapang trabaho, kasamang masipag sa pagbibigay ng trabaho. Boss Ramsey Tirona.
That Type Check was brought to you by Bingo Plus. Bingo sa saya, plus sa panalo.